Hey, we're back. We're back, and I hope I don't know. Chat told me that I've won the weirdest face competition, which is something I do not want to win. But hey, at least winning something, right? But we have the next match on our hands. The first tag already happened. SYNCHRONIC did get that 3-star, and was a quick one, Coco, right?
Yeah, it definitely was a quick one. We have our stats on our other monitor, and it seemed to be that it was only 1 minute and 9 seconds, so hopefully we get to replay that at some point. But the next attack that we will see will be the next one coming in from VM Legacy. Now, they have to triple it as well, otherwise they'll be giving the lead over to SYNCHRONIC very early on.
That's right. I hope Carvin is getting his trivia question ready, which he tried to ask us during the break. But hey, we wait for the next attack happen that we can then see and that we can then enjoy and figure out what the attack strategy looks like. Because there were rumors overall that SYNCHRONIC found a way of somehow competing versus the time of Tribe's attacks, which Tribe right now, we have seen the stats, was the team to beat when it comes down to average time. So I would love to see their attack and what they came in with and what the strategy was.
I think we're having a little bit of some technical issues, so we'll have to keep an eye on our stats at the moment, see if we can keep an eye on what's happening with the next attack. Unfortunately, we're having some trouble, but I think Carbon has our back. He did prep a trivia question, so maybe he can drop that in the chat and we can have a little quick chit-chat about that whilst we wait to see what the stats are happening. Or, yes, let's get it going. Ninja's attack is in. What did we have here? More Root Riders. Town Hall is still standing, though, in the middle of this base.
I have flashbacks of a certain attack, which looked kind of similar. But hey, let's hope that he has enough Root Riders to go all the way back now towards the Town Hall and get that 3-star. The Town Hall is going to explode. He's going to distract the Monolith, which is working semi-decent, I guess, with the multi-inferno tower, like the multi-inferno beam of the Town Hall, taking those skeletons out. The Root Riders are opening the compartment for the king, and it should be a 3-star, but it's not even close to the quick attack of SYNCHRONIC, which means they will have the lead after one attack each.
Yes, 3 stars from both of these teams. VM Legacy and SYNCHRONIC both going perfect so far. But as you said, the one from SYNCHRONIC was faster. We'll have to wait and see if we are able to rewatch that at some point. We have to make sure that everything is smooth, and we have to make sure we don't miss the beginning of the next attack. So thank you for being patient with us. But yes, SYNCHRONIC have the lead at the moment by a few seconds there on the board.
That's right. Few seconds indeed. And I'm still waiting eagerly to see what the strategy is from that team, which maybe, so far, time-wise, they have one of the fastest attacks of the day. I think so far the only attack which was quicker, you can correct me, was Stars with 61 seconds. I think otherwise this attack from SYNCHRONIC with 69 seconds is the second fastest, right?
I think Tribe had some quick ones, but I think 110 might have been the quickest one. So I think you're right. This might be the second fastest one. Tribe are definitely close behind there. If not, if we have missed a stat on there. So we have these quick attackers coming in, which are the ones to look out for.
That's for sure. Waiting then for the next attack to happen, or maybe giving us a quick replay of what just happened with the first attack in the SYNCHRONIC, from the SYNCHRONIC side. But if we want to speculate on what exactly they're doing, do you think they're doing something similar, or do you think it's a new way of playing Root Riders, or is it a complete different strategy?
Well, I'm sure that a lot of these players have done a lot of experimenting, and I feel like a lot of the experimenting has not been quicker, or we might have seen it, unless there's a hidden strategy in there that some of these players have figured out and they're keeping secret so that nobody else knows. Because the main thing is, if you have found a way to up the time or lower the time, I guess, for your team, then you want to keep that secret, because if they had time to practice and perfect the strategy, you might be giving away your own strategies and then losing to them.
That's right. I mean, we could be sneaky and like actually visit a few of those stats website or like progression websites and check what type of equipments they have leveled up. But we have actually a new and next attack, and it seems to be like just the Root Riders, but with lightnings instead of the Overgrowth spell. And well, let's take a look at how this is going to work for him.
Yeah, this does clear off some of the splash damage. I think we got the Ricochet Cannon and the Multi-Archer Tower, some new defenses that are available at Town Hall 16, which is mainly, I think, for funneling purposes at this moment, because we're pathing towards the left-hand side with those Root Riders. They're just going to power through those walls before going for the Eagle Artillery and into the Town Hall compartment. The Warden ability protecting them, but also regaining all of their health back before they start to take down the Town Hall in the middle of this base.
Yeah, but to compare it to the Overgrowth option, this time all of the troops in the core are taking the Town Explosion damage and the poison damage right after. But Root Riders are quite tanky, so this might be not the biggest problem for them. As the Royal Champion, everything is pushing through, and right now he has crossed the 1 minute mark with quite a few defenses on the back end, so this one is not going to be as quick as maybe some of the others.
Yeah, a lot of the single points here, the single Inferno there, charging up, doing quite a bit of damage there as well. Some of these Root Riders are pretty low. 1 minute 40 on the board. Queen goes to ability, gains some healers, but she will clean up pretty nicely. We're around that 1 minute 30 mark, which seems pretty average at the moment based off of the previous matches that we've seen. Not the quickest attack, but yet another triple on the board, this time from Philip.
Yeah, and this is like the good thing for them, that they have put up this incredible time in the first attack, which is then putting up the pressure on the other team, that they have to somehow take the risk, take maybe some little extra steps to somehow have an even quicker time, which could result in either worse times or at the same time, which we have seen already plenty of times in this stage of the competition so far, result in some fails, either 1 or 2 stars. And this is then always a crazy swing in the momentum of that match. But this means so far Synchronic 2 out of 2 with a really solid time. Now we have to take a look what the other team can somehow do against this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at this point, we want to make sure that they're not falling short, though, as we've seen before, that when you do try and go all in and it does go wrong, we can get some fails coming in. So the main thing is that we make sure to get those stars on the board. If possible, try and get them down as quickly as possible, because there have been some really quick ones in this one, as well as the other tournaments so far.
That's right. Viva Legacy should attack next with their well, whatever strategy they want to go for. They had some incredible times as well during the group stages, for example. I think especially Ninja is a player to highlight here, who had an, I think, 1 minute 11 seconds attack as well. So really quick attacks as well from their side. So I think Super Dragons was their choice with Super Minion Bloom, for example. So as well, different approaches, and different teams have like figured out different ways with all of those different strategies to get the fastest time. Most people, or most teams, are opting into the Root Riders. Some teams have went with the Super Dragons, and they were really quick as well.
Yeah, I think there's multiple different ways of getting quick attacks down. It just depends on each individual preferred strategy. Like, I think a lot of people who did also use like Electro Titans, a lot of them have been using Root Riders, for example, now. Now, Electro Titans are out the board, though, because they are pretty slow. They're a nice combination sometimes to help with Clan Castle troops or potential traps, but we don't see them as often anymore. Now, Darkstar coming in, and he's already got that Warden ability early because the single Inferno is doing a lot of damage already. I'm not sure if we lost one, and he's also combining it here in the middle with the Overgrowth spell. Did not get the Monolith in or the Eagle Artillery.
Yeah, he had a lot of troops going around the outside. That's why the Warden completely went to the side. So the healing effect, which all of those players are always looking for on the Root Riders, was not really happening, which means now he has lost a lot of troops. The Queen did go inside on the other side, though, which is really solid for him. There goes the Rage Towers now. Is it going to be enough power? I think it looks really solid for him with the Royal Champion, with the Queen, everything in the core, and some incredible, nicely placed freezes.
Yeah, the beautiful freeze, getting as much value as possible, freezing the scatter shot and the town hall simultaneously. This monolith has gone down finally. Few hidden testers trying to slow down on that back end, but we're just over the minute mark, getting those last few buildings down, and we've got another triple on the board. This was, again, another quicker one, 1 minute 20 seconds around that time from Darkstar here for VM Legacy.
That's right, and I think we can take a look at the stats as well in just a second. But for now, we should take a look at the replay, which happened in the beginning with the 69 seconds or 1 minute and 9 seconds from the Synchronic side and what they did there. They went in with the Root Riders as well, but nothing too fancy otherwise. Like no overgrowth spell, instead just a couple of skeleton spells.
Yeah, the skeleton spells will be nice to distract some of the defenses because I can see 2 single Infernos and the Monolith, so they can do quite a bit of damage. He's actually using that first one here already, distracting the single Inferno and some all other defenses. He's got the jump spell, which will connect these compartments for the King to go in for the Eagle Artillery and the Monolith, which will be nice because these Root Riders will not take that much damage from the Eagle Artillery later on in the attack.
Yes, there is a jump spell for the Baron. Like, I think that's the cool thing, or like the important thing for this one, is to get your troops separate, and especially the King. I mean, the King behind the Root Riders is mainly because you have the Root Riders opening the entire compartments for the Barbarian King, and I feel like the Barbarian King is such a key thing regarding time. Like with the splash, with just the Epic Gauntlet, he is such a game changer, and on this attack, it was perfect with the jump, getting him into their own compartment. That's the Root Riders, the Queen on the outside. So the split of those troops was really nicely planned, and this resulted then in this really quick time.
Yeah, and it was very funny to see when you look at the attack and you see 50-60% still remaining, and then you see that the clock has 30 seconds left, and that you know that the player cleared out the rest of the base in 30 seconds. I think is crazy to me.
Yeah, you only had those vibes like with Lalo typically after like your Queen Judge or something, when like pros were able to like Lalo, I don't know, 40% or something in 30 seconds. That was always really, really impressive to watch as well. But those Root Riders are trying to push towards some crazy records at the moment with getting those 3 stars in. But now we're back to Synchronic again with their next live attack to see what time they can put up. And if I take a look at the numbers quickly, we have right now the average time for VM Legacy being 1 minute and 27 seconds, and Synchronic being 1 minute and 18 seconds. At least this is what it looks like. So on average, we have the 9-second difference with only 2 attacks done.
Yeah, that's not too much, to be fair. We could easily be swayed with 1 attack being slower. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. 6 stars each, 2 attacks in, and we've got the next one in from Einstein. And we've got the OG, we got the Gauntlet abilities, double book on the Warden. Did we have the healer puppet on the Queen as well? That can be nice for like a mini Queen charge.
That's the same base again, which we just watched the replay on. Does VM Legacy use the same base multiple times? I'm just confused. Like, did it
This one
work
has
in
3
tests?
single Infernos, though.
The last one had multi-Inferno towers. Is that the only difference?
I think there was 1 multi-Inferno next to the Clan Castle, if I'm correct. So more splash. Well, there's an extra skeleton spell as well to help counter that, maybe.
Well, let's see if it's going to work again as in the first one, which has worked great for Synchronic. They had an incredible time there. We see the Root Riders pushing into the shop side. The skeleton spells are distracting all of those key defenses, the single Inferno towers, the new merged defense, the cannon, the ricochet cannon. Channel should go down soon. The King is just obliterating this Monolith and Eagle compartment, and they're pushing through.
Yeah, he's trying to replicate the quick attack that we saw, which was 1 minute 9 seconds. It is a little bit slower, though, from these Root Riders. They're slowly thinning out as they approach the back end here now. We're approaching that 1 minute mark. King gets a revive, is going for the Scattershot. World Champion gets the single Inferno. Now it is almost the same. I'm pretty sure it was really close on time. We'll have to go and take a closer look at which one was faster, but this might not be what VM VM Legacy were hoping for by running the same base twice and getting such a quick attack down on it 2 times in a row.
I'm just checking the stats. It was actually 3 seconds quicker than the first attack. The first attack was 1 minute and 9 seconds, and now we have 1 minute and 6 seconds. I hope that they're not happy with the decision of running this base twice. I really hope for them that they don't have this activated yet again. Otherwise, they might be in trouble. I mean, if they really were convinced that that base is looking great for them and holding good in their tests, well, it does not do that versus Synchronic. Maybe, but that's, again, like the personal preference of all of those teams with how they play the Root Riders. Maybe they defended really well versus the Overgrowth spell, and that was then the decision of why they're running the space. But with this jump approach, which is not that common for the most of those teams with the Root Riders, since they're just relying on the King going with Root Riders into the core, well, maybe they did not expect this jump spell, and with that one, they just have this really massive advantage of taking down the space already now twice with this good time.
Yeah, the shock that they must have had. The first attack going in, and then the first attack absolutely demolished the base in 1 minute 9 seconds. I'm sure that they knew what was coming if they knew that they spun the same base twice. Now, they're not going to be happy about that. That's for sure. We're at 9 stars to 6. VM Legacy have to make sure that they get a triple on. And hopefully it's a quick one. Because if time does end up being the decider of this match, Synchronic are looking very strong at the moment.
Yes, and I mean, looking forward to maybe our first 15-15 score. I mean,
we've been waiting for it.
we want to make it happen. So far, it did not happen. So looking forward if VM Legacy and Synchronic can be the first 2 teams to make this work. VM Legacy are up next. They have still some incredible attackers, and Ariam is this person to go for, deploying everything as quickly as he can to push everything into that middle part. He is using the Overgrowth spell again, which means the Town Hall is probably going to be one of the last buildings to go down.
Indeed, we've got the Root Riders that they might be splitting a little bit. One's going to go path with the King, and the Warden's actually going to be pulled into that middle part of the base. The other Root Riders are going towards the Eagle Artillery. Queen's reaching over these walls into this compartment, and as you said, the Overgrowth coming in hot, slowing down how much damage is coming in on the Town Hall and the Monolith at the moment. They will bypass it and then return back into this compartment to finally get it down.
We have the troops really splitting away from their Town Hall. They have to be healthy enough to push through all of the remaining defense and then come back to the Town Hall. The King ability has been already used. And well, now the Town Hall is literally the last building. They have to somehow power all the way through. He has 1 rage left, but no other spells. There goes the rage. The Root Riders are already down, which means the King cannot get into the last couple of compartments. He's relying on the Royal Champion. She has her ability, but she has to get that Town Hall.
Oh, she uses her ability. Seeking Shield does go off, gets quite a bit of damage down, but she's taking so much damage. The Town Hall beams are melting the remaining health away, and the Queen's health is slowly getting picked off as well. Just a few Packers and the Phoenix remaining on the south-hand side. Ariam has to still get the Town Hall down, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
And that is the crazy thing. If you're picking up those strategies, those approaches of the other teams, and you might have not the same routine with those approaches, it can result in this 1-star type. We have seen this already now twice with the Overgrowth spell. This attack might be quick if it works, but it might backfire. Then it's really, really bad. Can the P.E.K.K.A. somehow get through this wall and still take down the Town Hall? I'm not really sure how many hit points the Town Hall has left. I think around like 75%-ish. Oh no, 50.
Half.
It's actually half. This might be possible for the P.E.K.K.A.
I wonder how much health does the P.E.K.K.A. have? How much
Wait,
damage
is it
did it
99?
take? Oh, he's
with the Town Hall explosion? No!
No! The P.E.K.K.A. was too low. That was so unfortunate. 98% 1-star. This is where it really shows that leaving that Town Hall up in the end can just be so risky.
Can be for sure. It has the potential to be one of the quickest times, but as well, if you do not have this, I guess you have to really call it routine with having attacked already with this approach plenty of times, and you don't know how much power your Root Riders have left, it can result in really, really bad fails, which have the potential of like swinging this match completely. At this point, it looks like it. I mean, both teams with 3 attacks in. 7-9 now, and that is a massive lead.
You know, you just asked, you were like, oh, this might be the perfect war that I was waiting for.
Nope,
and the next
I have
attack...
not said that. I mean, we're still waiting for the first 15-15 score. That's all what I'm trying to repeat. SYNCHRONIC looking good so far, being able to be the second team to get 15 stars in total. Not the perfect match, but hey, maybe the perfect team for this one. And they're up next to maybe keep their streak going.
Yeah, I mean, they have the advantage now. 7 stars for VM Legacy, and they have 9 stars. 2-star lead. Percentage, as we said, was close because the previous attack, it was just the Town Hall and the Clan Castle still left, pretty much. So it's rough to see that. It's heartbreaking to see the Town Hall being left up. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. General X is up with the next attack. More Root Riders. And we've started off with the heroes onto the right-hand side. Now he's deployed that queen with the king already. And look, they're bringing in that jump spell yet again to get some more access to these deeper compartments with the king.
Yeah, it really feels like that this was the idea they had. And I think so far it's paying off massively. It does not, or it seems to not have the same risk involved as the overgrowth method of Tribe. And instead, with having this king jumping to the core like that as well, I think another thing is triggering and clearing out the clan castle and making sure it's not stuck on the Root Riders is a massive thing. The queen on the other side with the healers now turning into little queen charge is really strong as well. And this attack looks really solid.
Yeah, he prepped that beautifully. King cleared out very nicely as well. Helped clear out some of those defenses in preparation for his mini queen charge. With those walls open, she got the scatter shot down. She is taking quite a bit of damage here by the Expo, which he did have a skeleton spell to distract.
Super Dragon.
And the Root Riders are still going strong. There is a Super Dragon still up, though, which is going to do quite a bit of damage because it also splashes on all of these Root Riders. They have the walls open. They're on the monolith. There's super minions in here as well, trying to pick off the Super Dragon. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, to get a defense, though. General X with yet another triple on the board for SYNCHRONIC.
Yeah, the Super Dragon was a great idea, but it did not pay off in the end. It was a really, really, close one when it comes down to the health of the Root Riders. But remember, there's other things involved in the strategy as well, and that is, for example, heroes, which are a little bit powerful right now, if you want to say so. With the new equipment, they're just so powerful because you can adjust them perfectly to whatever you're playing right now, which makes them even stronger than they already were on the previous channel level.
Yeah, if you take care of your heroes, honestly, they can get pretty much half of the base down on their own. Like, if your troops die out, if you don't panic and make sure to protect your heroes, you can still get some heavy damage down and maybe even clutch it up at the very end, even if your troops failed their portion of the attack.
That's right. I was quickly double check. The time on this one was 1 minute and 23 seconds. So their average time right now is 1 minute and 16 seconds. Which is as well insane. I mean, that's really, really impressive. Do you, by any chance, remember what the average time was of Tribe in their match?
I'm not sure. Pretty much they were all around the 110. I think the longest time was 120, I think, from Nabrox, followed by 119 from Exosys. So they must have been around a similar average time as well. So I wonder if we'll get a matchup between these two. That is definitely going to be spicy to see who will have the quicker attacks.
Well, we have Fluxian now with his next attack, and it's going to be the Root Riders again. This one is no jump, but it's an overgrowth spell again. But he's going into the Town Hall this time, which is a different approach than we have seen because it's more like a box space style and not the core Town Hall, which we have seen from so many other teams.
Yeah, now he's frozen. He's frozen and made invisible by using that overgrowth spell on the Eagle Artillery, as you mentioned many times before. This does help with the amount of damage that these Root Riders are taking. There is a bit of a split as well, which helps with the heroes because the World Champion's on the left, and at the moment the Expo's being distracted, so she stays pretty much almost at full health. And these other heroes, they're powering through that right-hand side. One healer does follow these Root Riders and King into the Eagle Artillery compartment. The main thing is that we have to backtrack into that monolith area and get that down as well.
Yes, turning around, taking that building out, and getting that 3-star. And this one is going to be in the around 1 minute 30 seconds, which for some teams apparently is quite slow. We already said it's around the average. Oh no!
Oh.
Wait, they have to walk all the way to the elixir storage. No chance.
Yeah, that's going to eat up a lot of time. One archer would have been able to get that down, save him a few seconds. They do still have that 2 stars that they're handing over, though, to Synchronic, but every second is important to make sure that they get it on the board, because if they do get a defense, imagine we get another 1-star defense, because it's happened a few times before. When we have a look at the stats from the entire tournament, it is not the first time that we've seen a 1-star.
Yeah, I think of all of the 8 teams, we had 3 1-stars so far in the tournament, and we already, with just the first couple of matches, are already matching this just today. But on the other side, so I think all of the 1-stars so far only happened because of the overgrowth spell method of like everything passing the town hall, then having to come back to the town hall, and that resulted in 1-stars. And so far, Synchronic did not use this overgrowth method, so maybe they're safe. But I think so far, 2-star is going to give them the victory, and I don't think that they're going to risk it with an overgrowth attack.
No, it seems like they're very consistent with that jump spell. It seems like that's where they're comfortable, getting that extra value as well. I think splitting up the heroes, as you mentioned, is really valuable, because that way you're doing damage to more buildings at the same time, which means you're getting more buildings down. So that means that's why their attacks are much quicker than the others at the moment.
Yeah, that's for sure. Getting this damage spread is a huge key thing. But wait a second. Actually, they're going in with regular dragons. I felt like that out of the different dragons we have, which means like super dragons, we have the electric dragons, we have obviously the regular dragons. Out of those 3, I felt like the regular dragons were the weakest. But apparently, Mark is saying, I got this, we're fine. I would just go with the regular dragons. And hopefully, first off, triple, but as well, get a nice attack time just for the momentum for our next matches then in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Dragons, he doesn't have to worry about time. You can see that he's already eaten up for the most part of a minute as well now. And the Blimp is under that ability, went to the Town Hall compartment now. The Giga Poison from the Spell Tower also did a bit of damage on some of his troops as well. We're pathing towards that left-hand side. Now he still has a bunch of freezes and skeleton spells, and the reason for this is that there are a bunch of single Infernos on the right-hand side of Synthe's base. We got that first one coming in as well for the Royal Champion, second one as well as the freeze coming in to help protect everything that's on that right-hand side.
The healers are getting slowly picked off by that multi-Inferno Tower, the Royal Champion losing her Fox, I believe. And now the King has to power through the back end with this Queen together. The Queen getting targeted, no ability left. And I think this might result into... Okay, never mind. There is a great freeze. Yes, the Royal ability. He should be fine, right? Right?
Oh, don't say that too soon. There's a bunch of skeleton traps popping up. Now, the Royal Champion ability is very valuable because she will regain some health. The Phoenix is still alive, which will help distract some of those shots from the multi-Archer Tower. She's pathing towards the left-hand side. The second Archer Tower starting to lock onto her, as well as the Wizard Tower. It's getting close. Her health is ticking down, and she will go down and leaves the Wizard Tower up here as well.
I feel like, as I said, she has her ability. She used it, but I'm not sure what was the ability on that one because she barely recovered any hit points whatsoever. And this is going to be the fail. But I guess they were just fine with a safe 2-star, right? I mean, just the approach overall looked like a really safe 2-star approach. So I guess I would not really say, okay, that was a crazy defense or anything. It was more like, okay, they just want to play it safe. They wanted to go for the safe approach and get that... victory to stay in the upper bracket, because this is all what they had to do. They just had to get this 2-star and then get into the upper bracket and have an extra tournament life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the safe 2 stars all they needed there. They had that 1-star defense, which did come in clutch for them. We're trying to get as much percentage in as possible on this one, but unfortunately the Headhunter will step in range of this Archer Tower. 4 buildings stay up here on Synthe's base, which is going to be the first defense for VM Legacy, but it's not going to be enough. 14 stars for Synchronic, and they will be standing strong in the upper bracket. This match is not over just yet. We do have a final attack from VM Legacy to watch, though.
Yes, but this means Tribe is still being the only team with 15 stars in this playoff bracket in the matches we have seen so far. And now with VM Legacy next, I hope that they can claim another 3-star, because it might not happen, or like might not really be important for this specific match because they have already lost. But going to the next match with a really solid attack can be a nice momentum shift, and that could be a big thing for the next match, because remember, it's double elimination. So whenever a team loses here in the upper bracket, let's say you have a second chance. Don't worry, you don't have to like only watch one match of those teams. They're all so good, and we can witness their magic with playing the game at least twice.
Yeah. Synthe is up with the final attack, and look what he has brought for us. We are in for a treat. We have Zapquake Mass Hogs. Now, Synthe's known to be doing some really cool hog attacks. Let's see what he brings on this one.
Well, I've seen this attack get crazy overkills, and I've seen this attack fail miserably. But so far, with the attacks where it failed, it was most of the time because of like raged up multi-inferno towers. The good news on this one is there are no multi-inferno towers on this top side, and that's why he's starting right away with those hogs. The Town Hall has not even went down yet.
Yeah, he used that Warden ability very early as well, because there's a lot of splash damage on that left-hand side, as well as the enemy queen. So he used that Warden ability to protect the Headhunters as well. And now, since those hogs took a bit of damage, he's using some heal spells to heal them up. Now, the Multi-Inferno is present, as well as that Poison Spell Tower, slowing down these hogs whilst doing some damage. And those Clan Castle troops are still up. He also had the arrow on the queen. I don't think it got any value, though.
Well, that's pretty nice summary of that equipment. You don't get value out of that one, except if you want to use it, and you have only invested ores into that one, then I guess you have to use it. But otherwise, this is going to be a nice 3-star for Cynthia. The plan overall was great. The Lightnings worked out amazing. And Single Front Towers are not the best defense versus those Hog Rider attacks. So really great job with the plan by Cynthia, and a nice 3-star for them. Wasn't the quickest, but I think they can be happy with this one, moving then into the lower bracket, and then having the match over there with the final score of 13-14 for this match.
Yes, Synchronic standing strong at the end of that match, taking the victory, and they'll be staying in the upper bracket. Definitely one of the teams to look out for with that interesting strategy that they had with the jump spell. Not commonly used, so I love to see that they are still investing their time to try and find new tips and tricks to find extra ways to get that quicker down on the board.
Yes, and we see the stats again for VM Legacy. We had some quick attacks, but as well, I'm falling short with the overgrowth method with the Root Riders. But I think even if he 3-star, comparing with the time, well, if he 3-star, it would have been a 15 score, right? So they would have won. But the question then is if Mark would have went in with the Dragon attack, which he did in the end. Otherwise, take a look at those times of the 3-stars off Synchronic. Those were quite impressive. 1 minute 27 being the slowest, 1 minute 6 seconds being the fastest, which is really, really solid from them.
Yeah, it was really good, especially that double hit on that one base where they figure out how to get that attack in very quickly. And then they were able to repeat it. But not only that, you can see Einstein has the advantage with a few seconds over Simon. So that means he upped the attack and was able to even improve it by a few seconds. What did you think about that, Carbon?
Well, what a match from a 1-star. Literally, if you get those 2 buildings down, you win. The Town Hall, unfortunately, the P.E.K.K.A. not able to do just that. And hey, that's all it takes. And that's what determines this match. And using the Overgrowth spell can be risky. And we're going to see Synchronic advance, but we're going to still see VM Legacy going down to the lower bracket and still have an opportunity in a double elimination here, Itsu.